Dreams above the clouds. Isaiah has always been a dreamer. Born in a small town, he never imagined that his life could be different from the daily routine of the people around him. From an early age, he was fascinated by the sky and airplanes, but there was a big obstacle in his way: English. Although his country mainly spoke Portuguese, English was always essential for anyone who wanted to reach big dreams. Isaiah wanted to be a flight attendant, travel the world, and have adventures in the skies. However, one skill was needed for this dream to come true: mastering the English language. Isaiah felt insecure when speaking English. At school, he was a good student, but English always seemed like a barrier. The words and grammar rules seemed confusing, and he got frustrated, especially when he tried to talk to people who already spoke fluently. It felt like he was stuck in a place where he couldn't reach his dream. Isaiah's dream of becoming a flight attendant seemed more and more distant. During job interviews for the position, he always faced the same question: "Do you speak English fluently?" Although he smiled and was willing to try, his answer was always the same: "No, but I am learning." This was not enough for the recruiters. He knew that English was an essential skill, but fear and insecurity always took over his mind. Isaiah began to ask himself, "Is my dream impossible?" He saw colleagues fluent in English passing the interviews while he fell behind. This discouraged him deeply. But it was in this moment of frustration that his mother, with her unconditional support, told him, "Isaiah, never give up. You can learn, you just need dedication." With his mother's words in mind, Isaiah decided to change his approach. He started practicing every day, using apps, watching videos in English, and most importantly, making an effort to speak even if he made mistakes. But the road wasn't easy. He had days of doubt, moments when he thought of giving up, but the memory of his dream kept him moving forward. After months of effort, Isaiah received an invitation for a new job interview. This time, the position was for a flight attendant with an international airline. Nervousness took over him, but also a sense of hope that made him believe something had changed. He no longer had the same insecurity he had before. Although fear was still present, he was now more confident in his learning journey. In the interview, the recruiter asked the usual questions. When it came to English, Isaiah, a little tense, began to speak. "I can help passengers with anything they need. I am excited to travel the world and learn from different cultures." He noticed that he was calmer than in previous interviews. His English wasn't perfect yet, but he spoke more naturally without worrying too much about the mistakes. The recruiter, impressed, asked, "Have you ever worked somewhere where English was essential?" Isaiah, a little hesitant, replied, "No, but I learned a lot by practicing every day." The recruiter looked at him with a smile and said, "You have something others don't have: passion and determination." That conversation stayed in Isaiah's mind, and it was there that he realized it wasn't perfection that mattered, but the effort, courage, and the desire to improve every day. This was the moment that would change his entire journey. After the interview, Isaiah had to wait anxiously for the result. Each day felt like an eternity, but he didn't stop practicing. He continued studying, watching videos, repeating phrases in English, and practicing alone in front of the mirror. He knew his future was at stake. He constantly reflected on his journey, remembering the times when he thought of giving up. But at the same time he saw how much he had evolved. He began to realize that, more than learning a language, he was learning to believe in himself. Isaiah also sought to get involved in new experiences. He started working at a local cafe where most customers spoke English. At first he was nervous when serving them, but he soon realized that making mistakes wasn't the end of the world. With every interaction he became more comfortable. His coworkers began to notice the difference in his confidence and even gave him tips on how to improve. He remembered the first time he felt defeated, when he almost gave up on his dream of being a flight attendant. At every difficulty, it seemed like the dream was farther away. But now he understood that the challenges weren't an obstacle but an opportunity for growth. He was ready to face any challenge that came his way. Isaiah also began reflecting on the impact this journey had on his personal life. Before he started learning English, he was at a standstill, without confidence and without a clear vision for the future. But through learning the language, he not only developed a new skill but also strengthened his character. He knew that true learning was about becoming the best version of himself. Finally, the long-awaited phone call came. Isaiah was at work, serving a customer, when his phone rang. He saw the company's number and his heart raced. He was about to answer when he paused for a moment and took a deep breath. All the nerves, doubts, and months of effort converged in that one instant. He answered, and a friendly voice came from the other side. "Hello, Isaiah. Congratulations. You've been selected to join our team." Time seemed to stand still. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. That moment, which he had imagined so many times, was finally happening. After the call, Isaiah was overwhelmed with a mix of emotions. He felt immense joy but also a growing anxiety. He knew that this was only the first part of his journey. There was still much to learn and much to achieve, but the most important thing, he had earned his place. The dream of becoming a flight attendant was now real. In the following days, Isaiah began preparing for training. He knew the challenge wasn't over. On the contrary, it was just beginning. But this time he felt ready. The English language was no longer a barrier, and the confidence he had developed helped him face the next challenges with courage. The emotion of his success went beyond getting the job. Isaiah felt transformed. He had overcome his fears, limitations, and most importantly, the belief that he wasn't capable. His dream of flying the world was about to become a reality. After weeks of intensive training, Isaiah felt more confident than ever. When he finally put on the flight attendant uniform for the first time and boarded the plane for his first flight, a wave of emotion hit him. It was the beginning of a new phase in his life. He looked out the window as the plane took off and thought, "I did it. I really did it." During his first few months as a flight attendant, Isaiah had the opportunity to travel to amazing places. He met new cultures, learned to communicate with people from different parts of the world, and, of course, further improved his English. He realized that his job was much more than just serving drinks or helping passengers. He was making a difference in people's lives, making their travels more pleasant and comfortable. However, challenges continued to arise. There was always something new to learn, new routes, new protocols, unexpected situations. But Isaiah now knew how to handle adversity. He was no longer the young man afraid of failure. He was a professional, confident, and capable. The effort he made to overcome the difficulty of learning English and achieving his dream was rewarded in all aspects of his life. His self-confidence grew, and he knew that he could face any challenge with the same determination. He no longer saw himself as someone limited by difficulties but as someone who, with perseverance, could conquer anything he desired. Years passed since Isaiah's first flight, and his career as a flight attendant flourished. Not only did he achieve his dream, but he went beyond. Over time, Isaiah became a leader among his colleagues, helping others overcome their own language barriers and believe in the power of persistence. He was now a trainer for new recruits, teaching them not only about customer service techniques but also about the importance of effective communication and how English could open doors to a better future. On one of his trips to Paris, Isaiah had the opportunity to meet with a former English teacher who had been one of the first to believe in his potential. She was moved when she saw how much he had evolved, and she said with pride, "I knew you would make it. Always knew." Isaiah also began giving motivational talks, sharing his story with young people facing the same challenges he once did. He believed that his journey was not just about learning English or becoming a flight attendant. It was about learning to believe in himself and never giving up, no matter the difficulties that arose. In one of these talks, he said, "The greatest victory wasn't landing my dream job. It was discovering that by overcoming my own limitations, I could achieve everything I truly wanted. English gave me wings, but the courage to fly came from within." Throughout his journey, Isaiah realized that learning English wasn't just a tool for professional success, but a means of personal growth. He became a more open, self-assured person and, more importantly, someone willing to help others overcome their own barriers. He never stopped fighting for his dreams and in doing so inspired thousands to do the same. Isaiah's story serves as a reminder that, with determination, any challenge can be overcome, and that learning is the key that opens doors to a future full of possibilities. Isaiah never forgot the lessons he learned on his journey. He knew that, although English was a valuable skill, the true key to success was perseverance, the courage to face one's fears, and the commitment to continuous learning. Now he looks to the future with optimism. He dreams of continuing to grow and maybe even becoming an operations manager at an airline. Whatever path he chooses, one thing is certain: Isaiah will never stop believing in the power of education and overcoming obstacles. He knew that, just like flying, his journey would never end.